Well, that's an interesting question. About third grade, by the time I was in third grade, I realized that the other children in my class didn't have the same kind of family that I had. And I started thinking, well, I'll never be as exceptional, I didn't say that, but I'll never be like them. So I decided in third grade that I was going to write my family story. Since I was never going to be famous, I would write their story. And I didn't realize it, but that became a goal. And when the opportunity came in 1975, 74, when I was a school librarian at Myrtle Grove Elementary School, which was all white, and I was looking for information on the black community. I thought books had already been written, that I just didn't get them, but that there were books, local books already there, waiting. Call the downtown library and ask for them to pull, because as a librarian I could get as many as 25 books on any subject, and I did. If my teachers were studying something in science or social studies, it would be nothing for me to get 25 books from the downtown library. So I called expecting to get at least 15 or 20 books, and it was the answer that I got to my question that changed my life and the life of the entire community of Miami-Dade County when it comes to black history. And the answer was, when I asked for books, she said, I guess we only have a folder with obituaries.
Wow.
And I said, why? She said, I guess those people haven't thought enough of themselves to write their history. And I was blown away, and it changed my life completely. I was just so upset that someone would think that of us. But I couldn't prove her otherwise. And so I started asking, I asked again, I said, well, has anyone written anything? So she said, well, contact the Historical Museum. They started in the 40s. Maybe they will have something. And so I called, she gave me the phone number. I could hear that she was ready for the conversation to be over, as was I. So I called the Historical Museum. They were then located across from Vizcaya, in the same building as the Museum of Science. The person who answered was Dr. Thelma Peters, and she explained that she had just earned her PhD at the University of Florida and had, prior to that time, for 30 years, been a teacher at Miami-Edison Senior High School, and that she was working on a book on Lemon City, now known, of course, as Little Haiti, and that her colleague, Arva Moore Parks, was working on a book on Coconut Grove, and that both of them had talked with the blacks about their communities, and people had given them pictures and some interviews, but nothing more than that. And I thought that was an interesting comment that she made, because it paralleled what the woman at the library had said. And so then I told her about a family of 7, and from there, eventually, that was in March, I guess, of 74. By August, I got myself reassigned, because I was working for Dade County Public School, got myself reassigned to the Historical Museum as a teacher on special assignment to do tours, because they had been looking for a teacher. And at the Historical Museum, I was fascinated. I had never heard of a historical museum before. And so I would take my lunch, and whenever I got a chance, I'd eat lunch fast and then go in the library and read everything I could. Whenever the secretary was out, I would sit in her seat and answer the phone just to see who called. Whenever they were talking about grants, I'd never heard about writing a grant. I said, may I sit in and listen? And then I gave the tours for the Junior League and did all of that. And I started, people in the black community heard what I was doing. This is 74 now. Heard what I was doing. It was in the Miami Times. And they started bringing me things. And I mentioned it to my uncle, the radiologist. He said, well, you need to do something about it